What is going on, everybody? Today I'm just going to give a brief overview about where you can buy Gundams in Sydney, Australia. Now, I'm going to go through the process, so this will be applicable if you're in the US or Europe. Just kind of quickly going through how, if you can go on Google or maybe social media, like different ways that we can source Gundams and things to look out for and to make sure we don't get scammed. So, initially, it would be best to just search around on Google, maybe on Maps or on the search bar, and then you can kind of see the brands. So here in Sydney, we have a few brands such as Reputable Builds, Sugo Toys, Hobby Co, Hobby Kits, and you can see there's a bit of repeating, but you can also have like anime stores and otaku caves. So a lot of anime stores in Sydney also sell gunpla. And yep, a comprehensive list. So something important to note is to check the reviews, because these reviews will determine if these stores are legitimate or not. I'll talk about the scams more in detail later. But most of these brands, they can be classified into either like very big stores with multiple branches or little local hobby shops where I'll just be like one owner running the store. So in Sydney, Hobbyco is like I would say one of the biggest ones, and they have multiple locations across shopping centers and stuff. So if most people not so into Gunpla will just walk into the store, have a look at all the boxes and the cool figures, and then they'll just buy stuff from there. But each place has pros and cons. So what I mentioned is that some of the big branches like Sugo Toys and Hobby Co, they might have a lot of Gunpla in their stock, but you might notice that their prices are a little bit higher than the local stores. And then you also notice that their service may not be as good, especially like buying online. They might not respond as quickly as some of the others. So some of the local stores that I've personally dealt with are like Ryplar Builds and Hobby Kits. And what you notice is that they're very small, so they try their best to deliver on like the service aspect. So dealing with them, you can see from the reviews from each of these stores, you can see that they try their best. So don't overlook the little stores as well. Try to support your local hobby store. But apart from that, you can buy within the same state. But these days, we notice that we have a lot of delivery services available, and also for a quite affordable cost. So something shipping between Sydney and Melbourne, which is roughly 1,000 kilometers away. So if it was in the US, it will be like between different states, or in Europe, it'll be like shipping from Netherlands to UK. Even then, the shipping fees these days are not that expensive. I would say between 10 to 20 Australian dollars, which would be like 10 USD maximum around, and you can actually get them delivered to you. So I think nowadays you can also compare between different states. So I know that there's a lot of different stores in Melbourne, for example, like Metro Hobbies. You can also order from there. Okay, so if we go into the website, you can see that they have like deals, like free shipping over $150. So I just say if you were to buy online, it might be better to buy in bulk so that everything gets shipped at once and you don't have to pay the delivery fee multiple times. The good thing about the ability to ship between different states also means that buyers have access to more stores, which means that you can compare different things that you want. Maybe there's a sale. Maybe you like the service for one store better than the other. Maybe their shipping is really fast within a week. So there's a lot of considerations like that. Or if they have like a certain stock where no one else has. So I know that particularly this year in Australia, I think also around the world, there's kind of been a gunpla shortage where some things are just really hard to find, and when they restock, it's just like one or two items at a time. I think this month onwards, it's been pretty good. I think in Japan they were trying to build a new factory, and then due to that, there was delays in Gundam across the world. And I also know that supply is not as much as the demand. So there's a lot of articles on the internet where, yeah, some things are just really hard to get, and things sell out quick. Okay, so apart from these like internal country websites, there's also international ones. So one of the biggest ones are like HobbyLink Japan. But caveat, even though the price when you see it at face value might be a lot cheaper than what it is in your local country, you have to also consider the shipping costs. So these international brands, they might look a lot cheaper, but big ones, especially like perfect grades, the shipping is super expensive. So after you account for the shipping, it could actually be the same price, if not more expensive, than if you just bought it within the local area or same country. So that's something that you want to consider. Also, the time to ship could take much longer because you'll probably do it by ship. Airplane shipping would be way more expensive than what you can buy in your local country. So consider that. Of course, the other option is you just go straight to Japan and then buy the stuff, but you're going to run into issues with baggage limits because Gundams take a lot of space. And if you're carrying on like PGs, you better get prepared not to be able to carry on too much other stuff as well. So apart from that, where can you also find stores? Social media is a good place because a lot of stores these days they do like walkthroughs or like funny skits and videos or vlogs or updates, Instagram stories when they have new stock. So that's a really good place to find when new things come in because a lot of the times things that everyone wants they sell out within a few hours of uh, these companies getting the stock. So I want to quickly talk about Facebook Marketplace. So you need to be very careful when dealing with sellers on Facebook Marketplace, particularly with Gundams. So what you notice is that there are a lot of scams. So what happens is it might look like it's very cheap, but what they do is they give you a damaged product, so they don't mention something is damaged. And once you get to the point of the build and you notice that it's damaged and you message back, they'll just disappear. So if something is too good to be true, then it probably is. So just keep that in mind. I know sometimes there can be some good deals because in Australia we don't get much P Bandai or rare Gundams. So some people maybe they go overseas to Japan, they buy it, they come back, they don't want to build it anymore, so they try to sell it. Sometimes you get those good people, but you need to be careful about the ones that are a little bit shady. And if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So that's just my advice. Ways to uh, check prices because let's say you wanted one particular Gundam, but you didn't know where to buy it or you didn't know what the prices are like around Sydney. I think most people would just go into Google and then literally just click into every store and then try to find the model and then search one by one. So let's say you want to know the price of the MGX Strike Freedom. Generally, I think Google does a good job of accumulating the brands where you can press compare prices and then you can kind of see what's going on. But sometimes this information is not that updated. But yeah, it's kind of a good indicator of what it is like right now. Yeah, okay. There's also another website, but I think this one is um, not so international. But there's something called Buy Wisely. I think this is like Australia, but I can't check later to know for certain. But basically, you can search for the product, and then it kind of gives like some different stores that might have stock. But again, it doesn't have all the stores, so you don't want to look into this too deeply. But what it does, it has price trends. So the price trends are useful to identify if these products have ever gone on sale. Sometimes the Gundam sales they can be quite a lot lower, and you can also see price increases from just Bandai increasing in general. So you can see that this product is around $300, and that's kind of what it has fallen, what has increased to now. So these prices where it was like 250, this was like ages ago, years ago. So Bandai has kind of increased the prices recently. So it kind of gives you a good indication of how much they should be priced at around. Okay. So yeah, so I guess my advice is do your research, look at the reviews, make sure they're a reliable company, and then consider facts other than price because you also need to consider service, location, and how fast you can get the item. And if you can consider all of these things and then make a best decision, you should get a good positive result. So just try not to get scammed, and especially Facebook Marketplace. I would try to avoid that unless you're very sure about the buyer and the seller, like you have a good relationship and you know that that person won't take advantage of you, and then you can go that route. But other than that, I would stick to the big companies, the big retailers, because they will always do the right thing. That's why they have such positive reviews over time. So that's the video for today, and I'll see you guys later.